Hello everybody, this is kkaylium and welcome back for episode 4 of my Let's Play series. And last time we set up our smeltery and we set up some basic thermal expansion machines, a pulverizer and a furnace that are in here. We also added this little bit of a porch and a back door to the house so that we could get in and out from either side. Looks like we ran out of things to burn. Yeah, we made our first little engine, powered furnace, and pulverizer. And then, let's see, we want to put our pulverized iron in here. And so this is out of lava, so it's not going to finish melting these till I go and get some more. And I am going to do a bit more mining, and I'll be back when we're ready to get started on some real power production. Alright, I've decided that it's time to go to the Nether because that's the best place to get lava that we can use to continually fuel our smeltery. And so in order to get some obsidian, we're going to make our first diamond pickaxe. And I already know where some is, so I'm going to go mine that, and no one really likes watching people mine obsidian. It takes absolutely forever. So I'm going to go mine some, and I'll be back when we have enough to make another portal, and I probably will do a bit more mining as well before then. But I'll be back in a little bit. Alright, I'm back from my little mining trip, and I did manage to get enough obsidian for a portal, plus a couple extra depending on which portal, which style I make. I found a few more diamonds, which is good because I did have to use 30 to make a pickaxe. I found quite a bit of more redstone, and I did make some more chests. These are like things I don't have to do pretty much anything else with, like the ingots and stuff, and that's just in there. This is the ores chest, which I might move that into the processing room. And then these are like building blocks, and then my books are in here as well. And I decided since we've already got to the smeltery, we probably want to get to some of the basic machines, or the basic whatever they are, blocks from Tinker's Construct that technically you're kind of supposed to start with before you get to your smeltery, even though there's not like anything that is against that. But if you want to use the smeltery to make any real tools or whatever, you're going to need to make some of these basic things first. The first thing we're going to make is the stencil table, and then you can see we got the next book. This is actually the second book, like I said. Usually if you I don't know, I just kind of went about it in a strange way, but normally I get this book second. We also want to make the part builder, and we want a crafting table, which means we're going to need... It won't work with the custom crafting tables, which I think is weird because it is Tinker's Construct is the mod. And that might have just been an older version. It might work now. I don't know, so I'm just going to go and get a bit more vanilla wood and do it this way. Plus you notice that it does look like spruce wood, which I made it out of. And I did that on purpose. I do like the look of the spruce wood. And plus it matches with the house. So need a crafting table. Like that. And then the one last thing, it's not necessary, like you don't have to have it. I personally like having it. But that's just me. Like I said, you don't have to have it. But it's convenience, and I like using it this way. I can't decide, like, most of my machines that require power are probably going to be in here. Don't know where I want to put these. I'll just put them over here for now. Actually, that probably can stay there. Okay, so the way you lay these out is, well, obviously there's no set way to lay it out. You can lay it out however you want. But I'm going to put my stencil table, and then my pattern chest, and the part builder right here, and then I'm going to put the tool station over here. So the way this goes is you make some of those stencils which you used in making these. I'll make some of those in a minute. And you choose whichever pattern you want. You can store them in here, and then you can access the pattern chest from inside the part builder where you build the pieces. And then in the tool station you put all the different pieces together to make your different tools, and you can name them whatever you want, and then you can add modifiers to them to make them as if they were like enchanted. There's a whole bunch of different things. Mainly, I think for the Nether trip, I'm going to want a sword and then add some slight modifiers to it. I don't have any Nether quartz, which adds sharpness effect to your weapons, but hopefully we'll get some without dying in the Nether. So we're going to need to get a bit more wood and make some blank patterns to start off. We're going to want to make the pieces required, I think, for the broadsword. There's 3 different kinds of swords. They all kind of have different abilities. I'm probably just going to start with the broadsword or the longsword. The longsword has the effect, it can make it so you can kind of leap forward a little bit towards your enemies, which are helpful for like skeletons, which always hit you back every time they hit you. Maybe not so useful for creepers or whatever. The broadsword just has like a blocking ability that blocks like, I think, half the damage. Or it depends on what it's made out of, I'm not sure. But see, blocking cuts damage in half. The longsword allows you to charge, because it has a charge boost that you can lunge forward. And the rapier is one that lets you backpedal. You bounce back a couple blocks when you right click. So I'm probably just going to go with the broadsword. It's pretty close to a normal sword. I think it has a better block ability than the normal sword does. And there's only there are some things you can't make a tool out of. Like, you can make tools out of pretty much everything. Except for, like, diamonds. Because diamonds are a modifier instead. They add more durability. And they increase the mining speed. Or the mining level on what you can mine. Like emerald will also add more durability, speed from like redstone, auto repair. So there's a whole bunch of different things you can add to your tools to make them, you know, better tools just over time. And also, even if you don't put auto repair on, you can still go back and repair them later. You'll just have to come back to a tool station versus auto repairing. So, since I don't have any extensive... Alright, we're gonna want this book. Since I don't have, like, enough stuff to make any, like, super nice stuff. Like, this stuff right here, manilium, is, like, really... It's, like, one of the best materials. It's even, like, stronger than diamond. It lasts, like, forever. It's, like, a really... It's kind of expensive because cobalt and ardite that you make it from are both only nether ores that are a little bit tricky to find. Alumite, or however you want to say it, made from aluminum, iron, and obsidian. I could probably make some of this. And it's pretty decent too, and you need an alumite pick to mine these ores in the nether. Nothing else will mine them. But before we can do any of that, we're going to need to make some aluminum brass, which I don't know if I even have any aluminum, which will be a problem if I don't have any. I have some gravel ore and some aluminum oreberry bushes. We're going to go plant those down here. They kind of like it, well, they like it to be dark. They won't grow in lighter situations, so we're going to plant them back here so we can kind of block it off and let it be dark. And they do poke you if you run into them. We'll see if they're full grown all the way back there, so we'll just kind of block that most of the way off so that they hopefully will just grow back there. They don't provide a lot of metal, but Seeing as I don't have very much, it might not be a bad idea. I think we can pulverize this. I'm not entirely sure. This keeps running out of stuff. Fine. Not very efficient. We really need to get a better supply of power. We could, if we set up a pump in the lava, we can just run some magmatic engines or combustion engines? Yeah, we can run some combustion engines just on lava, which we could definitely do, but you'll get more power per tick if you use fuel or biofuel, or even just oil, I think. I don't know, I think oil and lava might be pretty close to the same. So we might want to make 2 pumps, one for oil and one for lava, but I haven't found any oil yet, so we won't worry about that. Alright, so we're going to need to make some more of these. And we're going to want to pulverize. Okay, I don't know if this will even work. We might have to melt that down actually. Let's go see. How much do we have? 5. So we're going to want to pick this up, because we won't be able to get 2 out of it. And we don't want it to pour out yet anyway, because aluminum is one of the ingredients in. So it says it needs 3 aluminum and 1 copper. So really fast, we'll just melt 1 of these and see how much. We should get 2, but the gravel ore might only give us 1, I'm not sure. And then we need to grab some copper. Tin gravel. We don't have any ores left, so we'll just do some copper ingots. And then over here, in our pattern chest, we'll put the stencils in there. They can just stay in there. And we want to see what it will take to make a broadsword. It says you were going to need a sword blade, a wide guard, and a handle, which is actually a tool rod. So we want to find these pieces. There's our sword blade, our wide guard, and our tool rod. And we can put these in here so we can just access them from the side. We're just going to make these out of cobblestone, because it doesn't matter what these are made of, these aren't going to be the final material. We'll need 1 of those, 1 of these, and you can see that it says material cost 0.5, and that means it'll only take half of a piece of cobblestone or whatever material you make it out of. That's why it ends up with a stone shard from the wide guard, but the sword blade takes a whole material, so in only 2 cobblestone you got all the pieces, which is pretty convenient. Alright, let's see how much we have. Okay, so it is. And it says, what, 3 to 1? Aluminum 3 to 1. We only have 2 to 1 right now, so to melt 1 more, then we'll get 4, we'll melt 2 more. Then we'll get 6, and then we'll add 1 more of these. And then we should have a nice bit of aluminum brass. We're going to take this out and put it in here. I keep jumping out the window. Alright, and then right here we want to put our stone sword blade on here. We're going to make the cast for the blades out of the aluminum brass. We're going to pour it on top and it will form a cast around it, which is why I didn't care what it was made out of. And then we'll use the cast to pour nice metal into the cast to make the pieces we want it to be actually made out of. Like I said, I'm probably going to try to make some alumite, or alumite, or whatever you want to call it, for my tools, because it is a pretty good material. So now we can just pour this on top, wait for it to harden, and so we have our sword blade cast. And then we're going to want our wide guard cast. And our stone rod cast. Steel rod cast and wide guard cast. Okay, so we got all of the pieces we need to make them. We're also going to go, I'm going to make a couple more patterns for some other things. And we can pour, so we'll probably want I think I went the long way. We're probably going to want a pickaxe head, and we're going to need to make a couple more. So I'm going to use up the rest of this and make as many casts as I can out of that, and then I'm going to melt up some alumite, or whatever, and I'll be back when we're ready to make our sword. Alright, I'm back, and I discovered that I didn't have quite enough aluminum. Like, I was really, really close, but not quite enough to make any alumite. So I looked up thinking making an obsidian tool would be good, and while it does have good durability, it doesn't do any more damage than just iron does. So I've decided I'm just going to do an iron sword for now, and eventually when I get a few more supplies, we can get around to making some nicer ones. We might need to get more lava. Hopefully not. Alright. While we're waiting for that, we're gonna have to figure something out because it's driving me crazy having to keep refilling that. Alright, so while we're waiting, we need to find a place to put our nether portal, and we need to make some flint and steel. Technically I could put this in the basement, but I'm not really keen to have pigmen coming out of the portal in my basement. So I don't want it right next to my house, but I don't want it so far away that it's a big deal to get to it. Probably just put it like right here. That. There we go. Our nether portal. Ta-da! Okay. I want to make sure we take our flint and steel with us, but I want to put the rest of this valuable stuff away. I'm going to put it down in here. Our clock. We'll take our stone tools and our iron pickaxe. Seating can go in here. Those can go in there. Our bucket won't be of much use to us as of now. How much does it cost to make a pump? Okay, that's not bad at all. Okay, we're going to want to make a pump and some redstone engines. Where are they? There they are. So I'm going to make some of these. We're going to want like 4 of these. Or at least 1. I mean, I've run it on only 1 and it works fine. So probably 2 or 3 of those. Yeah, I think this will be good enough. I'll make the pump, and we'll try to make it as close to spawn as close to the nether portal as possible, because as of now I don't have the stuff to make 2 ender tanks. I mean, I think I could probably get away with making 1 pretty easily, but I only have 1 ender pearl, and I need another one for the one in the overworld. So we'll just make it as close to the portal as possible, and just put some normal glass tanks there, and gather the lava from there, if that's even kind of worth it. If not, we'll just kind of leave the pump there but turned off until we get some more ender pearls. So I'm going to make those few things and get the last few preparations and make the pieces for the tool, or for the sword, and put that together. Let's see, last piece. Put those in here. Take our pieces. Where did the last piece go? Do we not get a wide guard? Oh, that's iron, okay. Looks a little weird, but okay. Alright, so the way you make these, I mean, I'm guessing it's kind of obvious, but I don't know. It's just you put the pieces in here, where they go, shows up right here. Actually, that looks pretty cool for just plain iron sword. Let's call it that. And you can see that it automatically, if you make it with iron pieces, it'll automatically come with reinforced 1. Obsidian is like reinforced 3. It just means it has better durability. So like I said, I'll make the pump and the engines and a couple just plain tanks, and I'll be back when we're ready to go to the Nether. Alright, I'm back. I have a full suit of iron armor. I have my sword. I did make myself an axe because I had to keep getting more wood. I have my pump, a tank, some redstone engines, a lever, some extra materials. I did bring a tool station that I'm going to place in the Nether as well, just for, I don't know, just for convenience if I need to repair something in the Nether. And then my other little tools, and I think that's all we're going to need. Hopefully we don't die, because I really don't like dying. And let's go. I'll be back when most of the terrain has generated, and oh wow, bad spawn. Well, not bad actually, but really not the best. But I'll be back when it stopped being so bad and I've generated most of the Nether. Alright, I'm back, and it turns out it's actually a really nice spawn. It's above a huge lava area, so like I said, it's right next to our pump, which will be very convenient. So I guess we'll just put it right here, and eventually I'll kind of encircle the Nether area and kind of tunnel it toward here as well, so it's all kind of connected, and hopefully no ender zombie pigmen will get in here. And as long as we don't mine any of these Nether ores, we should be okay in terms with the pigmen. So I'm just going to put the pump in the corner. I do not have a chunk loader, so this will only work when we're in the Nether. I totally forgot about that until just now, so maybe I'll consider making one of those with my ender pearl. I'll have to give this a little while for it to get down there far enough. And then we'll start filling it up. So now that we kind of have it set up, and I do want to finish this roof, so I'm going to go back and get a stack or 2 of cobblestone. And kind of build around that area, finish the roof, and go to bed as well. And I'll be back when I've got all that done. Alright, I'm back, and I did finish off this roof. And yeah, it's kind of low, but for now I'm just leaving it like that. And I did connect it. We can probably clear this little spot too, so that it's a little bit nicer going back and forth. And then inside here we'll place our tool station. We'll just put it like right there. So then if we bring some iron or whatever, then we can repair our sword in here. But for now it's no use on it anyway, so it's fine. And I'm going to expand this area a little bit. Another fortress is fun once I have a bit more protection. So for now, I'm just going to kind of leave it there and not go near it yet. But I'll get there eventually. So that's our little setup. I'm going to let this go some more. I really don't know what else to really do in here because I'm a little nervous to do too much or explore too far away because I'm so just not really protected enough. And luckily, it's only the Nether ores mod that makes the Nether ores cause the pigment to be upset at you, but the vanilla stuff doesn't, so I can mine this all I want and it's not gonna take any pigment off. I also don't want to lose it all in the lava though. Alright, so I'm going to show you what the quartz does for on the tools as a modifier. Like I said, it does add sharpness. You can add it in block or normal form. Block form is just faster. You add 4 at a time instead of 1, and then again and again because you can't shift click it and add like all that's there. You have to just keep moving it back. And you can kind of tell it's hard because this isn't an iron sword, so it's already, you know, white, but on other swords it does add like a white creamish tip, and it is there. I can see it, but you might not be able to see it. And just the more you add to it, the bigger that your attack will be, the stronger your attack will be, the more damage it will do. You can add other things, like, not another rack, but you can add a lot of different modifiers. I find quartz to be a particularly useful one compared to some of the other ones. And there we go, we've got our lava coming in, so now I'll just have to turn this off and on every time, but I can, until I get a chunk loader anyways, I can just come and grab a bucket or two out of here and collect it. And you can tell it's slowly going up. But we're just going to turn this off for now and go back into the overworld. And like I said, I do want to find an oil spawn somewhere. I don't really know where I'm going to find any, because I know they're a bit more common in some areas, I think, but I don't know what those areas are. So we'll probably save that for another episode. And since my last episode was quite a bit longer than I meant it to go, I didn't really pay attention to how long we were going. I'm pretty sure we're at the wrapping up point for this episode. We got into a bit more of the Tinker's Construct mod, and we went into the Nether. I'm trying to guess how long it's really been, because I've spent a lot of time off camera, so I'm not exactly sure how long I've actually been recording. So I'm probably, between the episodes, I'll go look for a oil spawn somewhere so that we can collect oil and turn that into power in the basement. And I mean, hopefully we find a decent sized one. And that's pretty much all I'll do in between. Probably make another pump. Maybe make the engines that we'll be using. I won't set anything up because I really like talking while I set things up, but I might get everything kind of ready to be set up. So, but I think that's all for this episode. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time.